Now, I did a Russell Brand video a very long time ago, and my conclusion was that he's a moron. And then I completely forgot about him, and his mediocre acting skills, and his unfunny comedic skills, and moved on with my life. Damn, I wish I had stayed in that state of bliss, because I just came across another short video by Brand, or more like an ad for his new book, that shows that in the intervening years, he hasn't become any more self-aware or rational. No, Russell Brand is still an idiot. Don't believe me? Just watch.
You think about it, and this is something that I don't think we talk about enough, right? Like drinking and taking drugs, we do it because it feels good.
No, people do it because they're morons, because they're incapable of dealing with the real world as it is. And when it comes right down to it, religion is essentially the same thing. It's a way for the intellectually irrational to deal with a world that doesn't make them happy. Well, too goddamn bad for you. Now, I'll repeat something that I've said a lot, but which the logically loopy simply hate. Dealing with the world as it is, not as you wish it was, is a basic part of the maturation process. Whining and crying that the real world doesn't make you happy doesn't change the way the real world actually is.
Which is a sort of a spiritual idea. You want to feel good. I don't feel very good. I'll have a couple of drinks, I'll do a line or have a little chase or whatever it is you're into in order to feel better.
And why do you think anyone gives a damn how you feel? Why do you think your feelings matter to anyone but you? Because I can assure you, your happiness means somewhere between jack and squat to me. In fact, I find people who drink and smoke and do drugs, and in this case, religion and spirituality is just another drug meant to keep you from dealing with reality. I find those people to be positively childish and immature. Now, I've said quite a few times in the past, and I hate to keep repeating myself, but if you have to snort or smoke, inject or ingest some illicit substance into your body to make you feel better about yourself and your place in the universe, you got some serious psychological issues. And to that, I've got to add believe, because if you're going to believe in some imaginary man in the sky because you're just too immature to deal with it, go get some professional help because you need it.
Well, this book, burping, this book and this program take as its kind of guiding assumption, you shouldn't feel shit in your life. So many people are just used to feeling shit, like, oh, this is life. I mean, it's a philosophical idea post-Protestant Europe, I now know, that the idea of you're meant to be punished, you're meant to work. If you're not working hard, you're not good enough. These ideas exist not just at the level of the individual, but at the level of a culture, but we experience them in the level of the individual.
Just grow up and deal with it, Russell. Sure, there are cultural ideas that you just might not like, but you know what? Screw you. You might not like reality, and I really don't care if you do or not, but you do have to deal with reality on reality's terms because you ultimately mean nothing. You are a momentary blip on the roadmap of time. The world doesn't have to make you happy. The world doesn't even have to notice you exist. If you live, okay. If you die, okay. But the world has no obligation to you. You, on the other hand, often have an obligation to the world, to society, to the people around you, whether you like it or not. And it's only through this interconnected web of obligation to those around us that we form useful and productive societies and move the species forward. But sure, you don't care about that. You're too busy being selfish and whining that you're not happy.
If you say, I'm entitled to be happy, and with happiness I'm not talking about pleasure. Pleasure's bullshit. Fuck pleasure, and God knows I tried.
Yeah, no kidding. That's why he's been addicted to pornography and self-injury. Again, childish behavior that goes along with his childish beliefs. I trust no one is surprised.
What I'm saying is that, like, buying stuff and and sexual activity and drugs. Listen, I love crack, I love smack, I love weed, I love booze, I love all of it. I'm not like in this position because I don't like it. I fucking love it to the point where I destroyed myself with it, thank God, because it meant serious decisions had to be made.
You know, the time to make those decisions, indeed, the time to make any serious life decisions, is before they destroy you, not after. But then again, we are talking about people who feel first and think a distant second, if at all. These are the kinds of people who fall for drugs and alcohol and religion because they can't just step back and deal with the world that they live in. They want to change their own perception of the world, and there's something wrong with that.
But happiness lies beyond the superficial stimulation of pleasure. And the reason I think this is a significant point is people can sell you pleasure. No one can sell you happiness. Happiness you resource within. Goodbye consumerism.
Yes, happiness you do have to find within yourself. But what he's talking about isn't finding happiness, it's faking it. Now, I like George Carlin's take on consumerism here, where he said trying to be happy by accumulating possessions is like trying to satisfy hunger by taping sandwiches all over your body. These people don't know how to be happy. They are trying to buy happiness without coming to grips with reality, and that's destined to failure. The only way to be happy is to find happiness within yourself, to accept your place on the planet and make the best of it. But far too many people want to find happiness from the outside world, either by injecting something into their veins that makes the pain go away for a little while, or by buying into religious nonsense because they can lie to themselves about the world around them, or by trying to copy what other happy people are doing, thinking if it works for them, it's got to work for you too. But none of that actually works. It's only a placebo. It will never lead to true happiness. It will never lead to true satisfaction. Only being honest with yourself, only accepting your place on the planet, whether you like it or not, and simply dealing with the world as it is, regardless of how it is, and pledging to make it a better place in any way that you can. Only that will bring true satisfaction and true happiness. Because you can't delude yourself into being happy. You can't drug yourself into being happy. And you can't buy your way into being happy. You have to actually be happy. And the sooner people stop pretending that there are shortcuts to that happiness, the sooner idiots like Russell Brand will go the hell away. And won't that be a good thing?